stories that you shared. It really made me feel something, even though I've never really lived it before.
Okay, good. Thanks.
But anyways, now we'll get to the interesting part. We have a Q&A session for everybody. So if anybody would like to ask any questions, please raise up your hand. Okay, we have one at the back there.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Mr. Ansar Dohadwala. I work for BW Epic Kosan as a vessel performance analyst. So my question is for the age of Twakows with.
Sorry, maybe you move here. Move here. Maybe the reception will be better.
So with the age of harborcraft turning green, what is the future of Twakows? Because if you change their force, because the last Twakows, they use diesel engines, right? So if you change it to electric motors, the essence of the Twakow might be lost. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I really do not know whether the Twakow will still exist for another 10, 20 years. The one that we see over there is more than 60 years, definitely. Yeah, okay. But to maintain a Twakow is not easy. You need to get materials, to import Chengao wood, to do that. To repair it, you need a trade. You need the special trades workers. In today's world, those people were actually diminishing. Probably MPA may have some special rules as well, to control these wooden boats, because the longer you go, the less trade workers you have, then the Twakow may be perceived as unsafe, and how to make it safe is quite challenging. Therefore, I think the challenge is not about electrical, to move into greener electric ship, that kind, but rather whether it's still useful in tomorrow's world.
Does MPA have any plans to turn it into a museum ship?
Well, this question was unexpected. But I would say that there is something in a way from MPA's perspective why Twakow shouldn't exist. Because as Mr. Lee has said, I think the most important part is to make sure that it's safe, seaworthy. But its relevance in terms of the efficiency, of course, it cannot catch up, right? So it cannot be used in a way, in a commercial sense, to make the business case for that. But that's aside. But I think if we sort of appreciate and sort of value our heritage, we can definitely find ways. And I support Mr. Quek for a long time. I know that he has some plans to perhaps preserve a Twakow or more. We'll be happy to look at those plans and then see how we can support.
Thank you very much.
Okay, since our ancestors are Hokkiens and Teochews, are there Twakows in China, in the port cities of Guangzhou, Quanzhou, these kind of places, and whether there are also Twakows in Penang, Malacca, and other Southeast Asian ports?
Good question. I think the Twakow that we saw here is really very unique because we need to move cargoes, 100 tons of cargoes. That's why we have our very unique closely framed Twakow in Singapore. I did not see any in, I can't say there isn't in Penang or Malacca, but their shape is quite different, right? Even in Xiamen, I saw a working boat in Xiamen as well. But again, the shape is different from ours. So I would think ours take our Twakow take the ideas from China, but not entire China. It actually tailored to our local, quite tailored to our local term. In fact, the earliest Twakow in China, so-called Twakow in China, was actually built by Thailand during the Qing dynasty. Thailand, yes, built it by Thailand. That was because during that Qing Kangxi Emperor Kangxi actually wanted to buy rice from Thailand. So those Teochew Twakow people actually say, oh yeah, okay, I volunteer to bring the rice back to China. So at that time, China wood building was quite expensive actually. Boat building was expensive. So this rice trader went to Thailand and ordered boats, not just rice, but other boats as well from Thailand. So therefore, the earliest rig bao Twakow, those Teochew boats, the earliest one was actually built by Thailand. And in fact, those Thailand built boats was at least half the price. It's much cheaper than in China. Yeah. So our earliest Twakow really takes shape from there. Yeah. Sorry, that lady first. Yeah.
I just want curious to know the number. So how many Twakow being burned? How many sank into the water? Now, why can't recycle the timber?
I think at the time in the 70s and 80s, we do not have this recycle concept. At the time, demolish, to burn, to clear all the old stuff was the key thinking at the time, right? How many was burned and how many was sank? I don't have the exact number, but I think in total, probably more than 800, if not thousands. Yeah. In fact, I read from an article, I read from Lian He Zhao Bao that in his heyday, there was more than 3,000 Twakow and Tongkang related, more than 3,000. Yeah. Sorry, operation.
Just now you said that there's no blueprint or like specified drawing for the boats.
Yeah.
So my understanding from Jong and Collect is that there's also no blueprints for like the boat makers, and instead like they just remember from memory, and each boat maker has their own like specialty secret formula or something. Is that also the case with Twakow and like Tongkang?
Yes.
Yeah. So is there like different kind of boat makers, and can you tell the difference at that time?
I think somewhat the trades become unified. So we couldn't really distinguish the boat built by this builder and versus the boat built by the other builder. We really couldn't quite differentiate. But you can see that this Twakow, they did not come with one unique size. If today I order a Navy ship, all right, I want an 80-meter corvette. So the size is quite standard. It should be 80 meter or plus minus 1 meter, that kind, right? But in Twakow, you will observe it carefully. Some of them may be 15.5 meter. Some of them may be 15.1 meter. Some of them may be 16 meter. Why is that so, right? It's because it's all governed by the timber. So when we imported the timber, you will depend on the timber size. If the timber is 60 meter, probably you will build a 60 meter boat. All right. If the branch, timber branch will make the frame. If the branch is, you can make a 8.5 meter breadth, you will make the 8.5 meter boat. If it's 8 meter, it will be 8 meter. So it's really governed by maximize the usage of the material. Yeah.
Oh, hi, afternoon. I'd like to ask you about, okay, during the early period, Singapore do issue judicial revenue and marine policy foreign bill revenue stamp. I'm a stamp collector. So it puzzles me for this marine policy. Is Twakow need to buy insurance for goods and for the boat during the 1860s?
In the earlier time, my understanding that I read from the earlier newspaper is that Twakow had no insurance.
No insurance.
At least in the late 19th century and early 20th century, there was no insurance.
Okay.
But there was one, a couple of occasions, just off Clifford Piers, and off suddenly, you know, our part of the world is actually affected by Sumatra typhoon once every 2-3 years, right? So in that particular day, the Sumatra typhoon came and actually caused many Twakow capsize. Okay, now that's one. And next thing is Twakow, you observe again, there's no water line. Water line is to ensure stability and safety, right? Okay. But Twakow had no water line. So at that time, actually the PSA of the past and this Chinese Chamber of Commerce, we're actually negotiating. Should we define a waterline for Twakow? Eventually, Chinese Chamber of Commerce commented that no, you should not define a waterline. Let the lighterman decide. You don't decide for the lighterman. It's because if they think that it's safe, they will load more, so that you know that the freeboard is only probably maybe less than 30 cm freeboard, you know, so you can load more. But if the lighterman feel insecure, they may load with 60 cm freeboard, you know. So the trade was actually quite free in that sense.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But later years, yes, we have later years.
Okay, my second question is, I have a document in 1926. So this postmark was a Surveyor General of Ships, Strait Settlement, Singapore. Yeah. So do Twakow during that time need to repair and they are being issued this kind of receipt?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Okay, now third question. During the Japanese occupation, I mean, a lot of people know that the surrounding island of Indonesia is occupied by Singapore. Okay, so
occupied by Japanese.
No, Japanese in Singapore.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
In this cashier, I found a boat, a Twakow boat. Okay.
I think it's Tongkang.
Tongkang or
it's a
okay,
Tongkang.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So is Twakow also involved by bringing these Japanese soldiers over to those islands?
I think probably if he involved, it will be Tongkang. Tongkang carried more. And during the Japanese occupation period, Japanese actually ordered our local Tongkang boat builder to build more Tongkang, to bring timber from Sumatra to Singapore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't build Twakow.
Tongkang is more cost effective.
More effective.
Tongkang is international water. Twakow is only within our port limit.
So are they issued a special permit during the occupation time?
Permit, but I do know that Japanese government ordered particular boat builders to build Twakow. One of them is actually from Jinjiang Huiguan. Mr. Chua.
Okay.
That person is called Mr. Chua.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
This question is directed not more to MPA, but not Mr. David Fu, because I don't think he would know. When the Maritime Museum was set up in Sentosa, there are two Twakows, one with a red head, one with a green head. And then when the museum was dismantled, they were all returned to MPA. So I know because, there are two Twakows. Where are they?
Okay, you're right, I'm not aware. But we're happy to find out though. So we'll get back to you.
I really thought that they're still around, right? Because I also saw that the last two Twakow from Singapore River actually moved to Kallang River and dismantled.
Very sad, because we are locked.
You know the person that they handled
I was the one who handled it.
Thank you. I just wanted to find out a little bit more about the name, because it's mentioned that you have red head and then you have green head and then also tai kai ngan. So in that case, right? Yeah. So why, and then is there like a difference between the red and the green and so on? You know, and why tai kai ngan, because it looks like a chicken or what? Yeah. Thank you.
Tai kai is a generic term that Cantonese describe these boats, because on the bow there was a pair of fish eyes. Right, and for those bow with red color, with the fish eye, it look like gongji, look like gongji with the. So that's why Cantonese call it tai kai. All right. Then why some are blue, some are green, and some are red. So this one come back to bring us back to Qing Dynasty, Kangxi period. All right. Kangxi wanted to control this boat's business trades. All right, control trades. So he actually devised three different colors. For those who are at the Changjiang, near Changjiang, means Shanghai, Ningbo, the area, the bow must be painted black. Black, right? Then those boats from Fujian, all right, must be painted green. Those boats from Guangdong province, including Teochew, right, must be painted red. Therefore, this color system actually devised from Kangxi period. So throughout the years, we will just continue using that system. It's just like that $1, $5 note. We use the British system. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce first myself and my colleague. My name is Philip Ng, and my colleague Alfred Chang. We are both retirees. We are also licensed tourist guide. And thank you very much, Singapore Heritage, Global Heritage Education for this invitation, and Mr. Lee for sharing with us so much on the Twakow. And also thank you very much, Mr. Fu, for sharing your from MPA. Okay. Oh, lower a bit. Okay. Right. All right. What I'm going to share with you is this picture, which is to add on with Mr. Lee. This is exactly how those workers work with the Twakow in those days, where they carry the sacks of rice, and it is really very heartache. Because during my childhood days, I used to come here during my so-called, when I'm not in the school, off class, then I come over here to see.
Do you recall how do we remove those sea barnacle from the boats, from these wooden boats? Water jet? Scrape. Okay, scrape, yes, probably. And then there was a more effective way actually. Today we scrape and we use water jets. But in those days, we use 火攻 诸葛亮 火攻 using fire. So you actually set up fire beside the boat, the hull. Those rattan cages actually came from Kebasa, came from the market at the Crack Road, all right, nearby. Yeah. So they actually burn those cages, rattan cages, and from there, when the sea barnacle heated up, they actually fell out from the hull itself. So that's how things work. Productivity. That's how the productivity works in the good old days. Yeah.
Allow me to add on. Sorry, sir. Michael.
Mr. Lee, can you tell us what they use to caulk the ship, the boat?
Oh, what to caulk? It's the quack, you know.
And certainly, one of the projects we are going to recce quite a number of shipyard, wooden shipyard in Malaysia. They do have the competency people actually in our region, including Singapore, my opinion. But again, because the trade border is not there, they can't continue, or they're still going on right now. I think that shipyard owner, right, I think the rep is not here, Marine Tactic. Okay, the one would be repairing or maintaining this Twakow from the yacht lighter. Most of them are done by them. Am I right? Yeah. Therefore, to answer you that, they're using, in fact, basically the mop of the floor, similar to that. To answer you that.
It's only that, nothing else.
Okay, there are other things you need to place over it. But I will not go in very technical because Jason Tan, by the way, down next to you, is the boat in Singapore, 42 meters.
Yeah.
He sailed all the way from China, called Fuling Hao. Therefore, you talk to you offline because I don't want to. But definitely, they have never sorted of people down here very experienced in the one area.
But just to answer your question, Michael, in good old days, we were quite environmental friendly. We use coconut fiber. Those coconut hut, we use those fiber to build. Yeah. In the good old days. Yeah.
Since the topic today is the heritage of boat, I would strongly encourage you to go and Google. Actually, it's one of the most beautiful wooden boat. Actually, right now in Singapore. It's a gift from Oman, the King of Oman. And the one, the caulking effect, all these things, the type of fiber they use, you can do a check online. Actually, they really 100% replica built. I want to touch on that, but I want to add on is about how they get rid of barnacle. In fact, MPA side, you know, those guys in maritime industry, you can solve the barnacle problem, you really make a lot of money. But there are never shortage of people who going in. Just to let you know, at Twakow, one of the way they remove it is right now it's all happening in Malaysia or those developing country. You know, you do anything, just bring the boat up, get rid of seawater. You pump in fresh water, the barnacle will go away. And this way, when the Singapore River they move out, they move to Pasmanjang side, they got big problem. One of the things is because the barnacle growing so fast, which is normal in Singapore. Therefore, in this context, actually quite normal. You know, we involved in this decarbonization project. You need to very clearly. Sometimes you just change the environment, you can solve the problem completely. You cannot change ocean going. But those guys who got a river one, including Indonesia, you notice that they move up. Make sure don't area. Yeah, that's a quick sharing. At least you have good for thoughts on that. We can discuss it offline.
Mr. Lee, you mentioned about Singapore was the 7th busiest port in the early 20th century. My research lead me to come to one finding that the ability in Singapore to provide fresh water for all the ship coming was an important attribute to it. And there is a company called W. Hammer, and it's embedded in the name of the water boat house. But the source of water I finally discovered during the 1905 was a delivery ship of 9 tons of water from Pulau Plakan Mati hot spring. That was the source of water that was supplied to all the ships. And because fresh water is one of the most important components of any ship for seafarers, that is one contributing that we must note that the Singapore water story started from there.
Thank you. All right, for those who have forgotten this lost name, Pulau Plakan Mati is Sentosa.
Are there any other questions? Okay, then I will end the Q&A session here. I'm really glad that everybody is so enthusiastic about this topic, about Twakow, and I hope that we keep this spirit going. And once again, give a round of applause for this wonderful presentation.
Okay, thank you for your active participation. Thank you.
So now, let's give our thanks to some of our people that have worked with us for this event. We'll now take this opportunity to thank Singapore Maritime Heritage Interest Group and NUS Seafarers for organizing this event, MPA for being our partner, and our sponsors CQ at Kaki, Ocean Master Engineering, Yogyok Chin Letteridge Coasting Services Private Limited, Ocean 7 Maritime, and Con, by my old school vintage shop, and Fan Hua Hui. So now I'll explain what will happen. So kindly request all of you all to scan this QR code right here. This is our feedback form for the event. And do note that your feedback is very important to ensure that we can continue to deliver events like this and even better in the future. So please take some time to scan this QR code. And on the right, we have a few wristbands. So every one of you all have been tagged wristbands and they have different colors. So if you see a pink and then you see some ticks on your wristband, it means that you are on the 2:30 visiting slot. So 2:30 later, please gather in front of the reception booth, and then our volunteers will bring you down to look at the Twakow. But do take note that no boarding of Twakow is allowed, but you'll be given an opportunity to take a closer look at the pontoon. Then 1500 will be blue with the tick marks, 1530 is just the pink without the tick marks, and 1600 is the blue without the tick marks. So just please take some time to fill in the feedback form. Thank you so much.